There are three things that make the fast food business model work. The first is the quality and consistency of the product. I can guarantee the same burger if I order a Big Mac in Hong Kong, London, or New York. The second is price. I can guarantee that the burger I order from McDonald's is one of the cheapest in the area at a high quality. The third is convenience. If it takes me more than 15 minutes for me to receive my order, something has gone wrong. When a franchise fails to do one of these three things well, the foundation of the fast food chain falls apart and the restaurant will fail. In recent years, chains like KFC, Pizza Hut, and Burger King, they're struggling because they neglected one of these core pillars. The quality of KFC's food took a nosedive, so Popeyes destroyed them. Pizza Hut was slow to adopt digital ordering and delivery, so Domino's destroyed them. Burger King focused on lowering their prices at the cost of quality rather than innovating, so McDonald's destroyed them. AI will continue to disrupt fast food's core pillars. The restaurants that figure it out will dominate, and the ones that don't will join the graveyard of failed businesses. My name is Raf, and this is Failure in Future. In 2015, Chipotle had a massive E. coli outbreak that resulted in 21 hospitalizations. This was a nightmare for Chipotle that resulted in the US federal government stepping in and fining them over $25 million, which is unheard of in the fast food business. The cause of the outbreak was due to the produce that Chipotle was sourcing. Because of Chipotle's decision to only use fresh ingredients in their food, they have to source all their ingredients from small and medium vendors that are local to the restaurant. Ensuring the quality and consistency of all the vendors that Chipotle relies on at the scale it operates at is a logistical nightmare. However, with AI, companies like AgroScout are developing AI technology that's constantly monitoring farms and crops for diseases before they ever reach a restaurant. Startups like Spore and Impact Vision are developing technology that's constantly monitoring food to see if it's infected with E. coli. Couple this with Chipotle's recent partnership with the startup Hyphen, which is completely automating the kitchen in its restaurants, and we will be entering a new era of high-quality fast food where technology is constantly monitoring the conditions of the restaurant and the safety of the food being served to its customers. But what about cases where employees making mistakes hurt the safety of the food? That's what happened in 1993, where employees at Jack in the Box were serving undercooked hamburgers to people. This resulted in 141 hospitalizations and 4 children dying due to E. coli. This incident was a massive national public health crisis, to the point that President Bill Clinton addressed the concern on live television. Because of the franchise model in the fast food business, it is impossible for companies to guarantee the same service quality across all of their restaurants until we entered the era of artificial intelligence. Domino's Pizza recently announced its partnership with OpenAI and Microsoft to transform its business operations. With this tech, Domino's is developing technology to scan pizzas, to check things like temperature, and ensure that every restaurant maintains the same consistency and quality for every pizza it makes at scale. If you want to understand how AI is going to impact the future of work, it's important to be paying attention to what the fast food business is doing, because what happens here is a strong signal of what's going to happen to your job. California recently passed a law that increases minimum wage to $20 an hour. And this minimum wage will continually adjust for inflation over time. When you factor in that most fast food workers are being paid minimum wage, and that part of the reason why the fast food business model is so profitable, the most obvious question becomes, what's going to happen to their jobs? It's a legitimate concern, and restaurants like Chipotle and McDonald's are piloting fully automated restaurants. The thing is, we've been here before. In the 1920s and the 1930s, there was a huge spike in automation anxiety when machines took people's jobs in the farms and in factories. This article from the New York Times in 1928 explains there used to be guards who opened and closed doors on the New York subway, and people who took tickets before there were turnstiles. In the 1950s, it happened again when computers were just coming out, and President John F. Kennedy cited automation as the biggest threat to the nation. Check out this example. In 1958, 17,500 longshoremen protested the automation of their jobs on the piers. If you don't know what a longshoreman is, it's because this type of job doesn't really exist today. This back-breaking labor job has been mostly automated with heavy machinery and computers, and yet we never ran out of work. Over the years, technology has displaced 8 million farmers in the US, 7 million factory workers, 1 million railroad workers, hundreds of thousands of telephone operators, and elevator attendants. Tons of jobs have disappeared over the years, but work persists. What's hard to visualize in the age of artificial intelligence is what jobs come next. Facebook and Google could not exist until the internet came around. But in the 1950s, it would have been impossible to predict that these types of companies would be the most dominant ones of the 21st century. There's also a second order effect. With cost-saving technology, existing businesses will look to expand into new areas or dramatically reduce the cost of their products. This means more money in your pocket to spend on other things like going to the movies or watching a live sporting event, which translates to growth in these industries as well. In the case of a fast food restaurant, these savings can translate into new, healthier products that don't make you fat, which would have been impossible with the previous business model. Or better yet, AI will dramatically reduce the cost of a cheeseburger so that it only costs you a penny. Not only will AI make food that used to be expensive cheaper, it'll also unlock new experiences that weren't possible before. Personalization AIs were the dominant technology of the 2010s, and multi-billion-dollar businesses were built on this technology. However, this technology never made its way to the fast food industry until recently. McDonald's recently spent $300 million on the company Dynamic Yield in 2019. They bought this startup to create smart menus at your local McDonald's drive-thru. This technology analyzes purchase patterns based on things like weather, traffic, time of day, and trending menu items, and instantly rearranges the display to feature a more desirable combination of items. These digital menus make super specific adjustments store by store. So if McDonald's next to a high school gets a lot of teenagers visiting after school, its menus will learn this over time and highlight things that are popular with teenagers like the dollar menu and combo deals. This decision technology will also make recommendations based on what you've already ordered. So let's say you ordered something really salty, it'll recommend a drink with that. Not to mention breakthroughs from OpenAI with their language model technology. We're now seeing automated drive-thrus using similar technology where AI takes your order instead of a person. The world is becoming a very different place because of AI, and it's both scary and exciting. If you want to see how AI transforms other industries, hit that like button and subscribe to follow along. My name is Raf, and this is Failure in Future. I'll see you in the next one.